this afternoon with a few words about halters, bits, headstalls, and general tack, or tack in general. This is a halter that I'm having built to my specs, and I know it's quite a bit different than most, just in the measurements, because when I turned the measurements into the halter builder, their first response to me was, we've never made anything by those kind of measurements. But to me, they work very well. And of course, this is my preference, my observations. But come here, babe. I think a halter, number one, should fit where these lines here come right in behind the jaw, so that when you pick up on the halter, that line comes in behind the jaw. There are some nerves and so forth back there that increase the communication value greatly when you put on the halter in this fashion. The second thing that's important about it is that the nose and jaw piece sits down as low as possible on the face. Now, the hard bone of their nose runs down to about right there. This is still bone here, this is soft cartilage down here. You don't want to get on the soft cartilage. You want to keep it on the bone, but you want that halter to fit as low and as well on their face as possible. It's all right, just run it as long as it goes. We want, because we want the leverage. The further down on the face you are, the more side to side leverage you have. I do not put snaps on my halters and leads. The leads are semi-permanently attached. I don't go along with leaving halters on your animals overnight in the pen, whatever. When you get done with them, you need to take everything off of them and turn them loose. They do not need to be walking around with a halter on their face. You're asking for trouble. Mules need to have lots of practice being caught anyway. So just get used to catching your mule. Now, with that said about the halter, I am a big believer, big fan of the Myler Combination Bit. And it just so happens that if the adjustments on your halter are correct, then when you put the bit, the Myler Combination Bit on, it contacts the mule's face in almost exactly the same place and the same way that you do when you're on the ground with your halter and lead. So it turns out to be very, very advantageous to have your halter adjusted the way this is. What you're doing is you are transferring nearly all of your groundwork to the saddle, because they're getting almost the same cue, the same way, in much the same fashion as what you've gone through with your groundwork. It's almost identical. Now, with the Myler Combination Bit, it's imperative that you have a headstall that will adjust so that you can get the cheeks short enough that the mouthpiece sets at the corner of this ring. You've got to have that. The mule works in the Myler Combination Bit well because it's a hackamore first when it's put on and adjusted correctly. This along with the curb is your hackamore. Obviously we don't have the curb hooked up yet, but we will here in a minute. But when that's on, you're asking your mule, communicating with your mule through the hackamore first. Let it out some more. This headstall is made by a friend of mine in town specifically for the Myler Combination Bit. You see, if you try to put a Myler Combination Bit on your mule with the run-of-the-mill headstall, what you're going to run into, because the purchase, which is the distance from here to here, the purchase is so long, you have problems taking the cheeks up short enough. So we designed this headstall with long adjusting cheeks, and we also have snap crown, a snap crown on it, so you don't have to go over their ears. And that snap crown is adjustable on this side. You've got a adjustment on this side, so you can shorten and lengthen it here. Now we lengthen it out so that the brow band runs right in this groove. Runs right perfectly in that groove at the base of their ear and above the bony structure above their eye. This one happens to have a futurity knot brow on it, so believe it or not, it can be adjusted as well. So this headstall with the Myler Combination Bit will literally fit any mule there is. It's got enough adjustment in it that it will fit any mule. All right, if you will look, the way the hackamore is, it runs through 2 points of the bit. So when you pick up, you have a scissor action in the shank of the bit, which delivers pressure to the nose, the jaw, and a little bit on the curb. That is what the mule will work more willingly, with a better frame of mind, and very calmly with the hackamore. They do not do well with pressure in their mouth. Yes, there is a bit in their mouth, and it's basically a snaffle mouthpiece, but it does not engage, does not capture the tongue or the bars until you get around to this stop right here. And if you're pulling on both reins, you're applying about 20-25 pounds before you get to that stop, if everything's adjusted correctly. That pretty much covers the halter and the headstall. By the way, you can see that the hackamore part of the bit contacts almost exactly where the halter does on the mule. Another thing or two, we ride a crooper rather than a britchin, and more importantly than that, we ride a tight back cinch. We ride a back cinch well back here. Come back here, baby. Well back behind the roll of the belly. This is the widest part of the belly right here. We put our cinch back here so it has something to hold against. That does 95% of the work of keeping your saddle back off your mule's shoulders. Your mules cannot function correctly with the saddle strapped in across their shoulders. You have to stay back here behind the scapula, about 2 fingers width behind the scapula. I hope this gives y'all something to think about and to try on your mules. With anything you do with your mule, if it's something new, get them used to it on the ground first. Don't just put something new on them and climb aboard and yee-haw. Spend your time on the ground with your groundwork and make sure they're right. Y'all have a good day and happy muling.